a sequel to Jon Snow actually planned? Following the announcement, Thrones author George R.R. Martin posted this on his blog. Yes, there is a Jon Snow show in development. Our working title for the show is Snow. Snow learned that he went by Aegon Targaryen and that he might be the heir to the Iron Throne during the last season. HBO CEO Casey Bloys has released new details regarding the Jon Snow series and other Game of Thrones spin-offs. The main cast of Game of Thrones concluded in 2019, and many fans are eager to see the program continue. Previous reports stated that a TV series based on Kit Harington's Jon Snow would be the sequel. The Snow series is apparently in its early phases of creation, despite the fact that HBO has yet given it the go-ahead. Game of Thrones actor Kit Harington has declared that he will play Jon Snow again if it airs. Thrones author George R.R. Martin, who wrote a Song of Ice and Fire book series, was also consulted on the concept. Regarding the show as a whole, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, but there is also a lot of information that has already been made public. On June 16, 2022, The Hollywood Reporter broke the first word about a spin-off series starring Jon Snow. Other than the fact that Harington would be playing Jon Snow again and that the series was still in its early stages of development at HBO, little was known about the project at the time. The creator of both the Jon Snow character and the entire Westeros universe, George R.R. Martin, verified the story on his NOTA site after it was reported. Snow is the working title for the show, Martin disclosed, adding that Kit Harington was the one who brought the idea to the table. Additionally, the author informed readers that he was familiar with the showrunners and that Harington personally selected them, saying, "They are terrific." The well-known author also said that Snow's development has lasted the same amount of time as the other 3 live-action A Song of Ice and Fire projects that HBO is currently working on, including 10,000 Ships, Sea Snake, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Martin did, however, take care to inform viewers that HBO hasn't yet formally approved the series and that it might not even be developed. In summary, a number of sources have stated that HBO is developing a spin-off series on Snow. Nevertheless, until an official green light is received, viewers should proceed with caution. It would be reasonable for HBO to put a lot of faith in a sequel program like this, given the passion from fans and how well-liked Jon Snow was in Game of Thrones. It wouldn't be shocking if Snow were to make a formal announcement shortly, provided that the script is delivered and all parties involved are happy. Nevertheless, Bloys revealed last spring that the network ordered a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, to series. For those who don't know, Bloys was referring to the Dunk and Egg series, which is a prelude to the novella trilogy of the same name written by George R.R. Martin, the author of Game of Thrones. Even if HBO decides to go ahead with Snow, it will probably take some time before the first episode premieres. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, is the other spin-off that HBO has already revealed is being developed, in addition to House of the Dragon. On April 14, it was officially announced that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms was under development and would be released at a later date. Accordingly, it is possible that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will be released as late as mid-2027 or as early as mid-2026. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms looks to be set to premiere as soon as House of the Dragon concludes, given that the show is scheduled to run for 3 or 4 seasons. In the event that HBO confirms and approves Snow in 2024, the film would premiere in 2027 or 2028. It might even be longer if HBO doesn't want 2 Westeros-set shows to air simultaneously. However, if it's not a huge deal for 2 shows to air simultaneously, Snow's 2028 release date appears most feasible. Each show might release a new season every 2 years, if that's the case. For example, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms might launch in 2027 and then release a new season every 2 years. Snow might make its premiere in 2028 and employ the same release schedule. Given that Snow is a direct prequel to the Game of Thrones, there's a good chance that any remaining characters from that series will make an appearance. But as of right now, only a small number of characters are most likely to make an appearance. It goes without saying that the title character will be heavily featured in the next series, and Kit Harington will undoubtedly be returning to his role as the real king beyond the wall. Tormund Giantsbane was one of the most well-known and prominent characters in the second part of Game of Thrones, and given that he rode over the wall alongside Jon in the show's concluding scenes, his appearance would not be shocking. Brienne received the title of official Lord Commander of the Kingsguard at the conclusion of Game of Thrones. Brienne would be at King Bran's side in the Snow trilogy if something were to happen that required him to go across the wall. When asked about a possible return to the Westeros universe in a June 2022 interview with Newsweek, Christie was enthusiastic about the idea. While many viewers were taken aback by Sam Tarly's decision to survive the last episodes of Game of Thrones, they would gladly welcome him back if he ever made another appearance. Over the course of the 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, Sam emerged as Jon's clear favorite buddy. So if there was any possibility that the two characters could get back together, it would make sense. Similar to Gwendolyn Christie, Bradley stated in July 2022 to Digital Spy that HBO could send a script to him if he wanted to return to the franchise when Snow was released. In contrast to the aforementioned Game of Thrones celebrities, Sophie Turner has remained silent regarding a possible comeback to the series, but it would only make sense that she would make an appearance given that she is now the Queen of the North in an autonomous Winterfell. Throughout the main series, Sansa and Jon became closer, and since Winterfell is so close to the wall, visiting Jon shouldn't be too difficult. It's also likely that Jon will require assistance when the show's conflict begins. Sansa and the Winterfell warriors will undoubtedly be the best people to help Jon. Yes, following her death in Jon's arms in the penultimate episode of Season 4, Rose Leslie's character Ygritte was absent from the Game of Thrones. Leslie might, however, realistically appear in flashbacks as she is married to Harington in real life, and the two were deeply in love throughout the series, particularly if the narrative as a whole focuses on a shattered Jon Snow. Owing to her devoted following, fans are curious as to whether Emilia Clarke's Daenerys Targaryen will appear in the rumored Game of Thrones sequel series. Following in her father's footsteps, she became insane and set fire to most of King's Landing and the Red Keep, murdering thousands of people in the process with her dragon, Drogon. Jon took the decisive action to stab Daenerys to death, knowing that her reign would likely be characterized by terror and a desire for more power. Numerous admirers have postulated that Dany might not be dead after all. Although Drogon did indeed take her body and flee with it, Clarke recently provided fans with some information on what to expect from her moving forward. Although Snow is still in its very early stages of development, Kit Harington was gracious enough to hint at the plot of the future season when he participated in a panel at the official Game of Thrones convention in December 2022. According to Harington's comments, it appears that Snow will delve deeply into Jon's psychological state following his ride north across the wall in the Season 7 finale of Game of Thrones. Additionally, it appears that the Jon that viewers of the main program will meet in the impending spin-off won't be the ambitious version of the character that won everyone over. It appears that the broken hero narrative is becoming more common than it has ever been. In the context of Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi addressed it, and stories of that nature were also featured in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It would be evidently quite different to witness Jon Snow in that state of mind if Harington and his group took that course of action. It would be strange to witness him truly battling with his own ideas and feeling pessimistic about the world in general because he was always Throne's optimist. It would be difficult for HBO to reject that story if that is what they want to tell. And that's all for today. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your thoughts in the comment section below. Until the next video, bye!